So thank you again for coming here and helping us do this.
My honor, my pleasure, man.
So my name's Demir, and to start off, I just would like to get some of this biographical information from you.
Okay.
So could you tell us the date and your place of birth?
Oh, I certainly can. My place of birth was here in Milwaukee, technically Wauwatosa, but that's where the county hospital used to be. On the county grounds where Children's Hospital and Freighter is now, that was a building they tore down. My date of birth is February the 8th, 1955.
Could you tell us the names and ethnicity of your parents and your siblings, or how many you have?
Oh, certainly, be my honor, my pleasure. My Ab, or dad's name, is Frederick Pinkerton, just like the detective agency. My mom's, her maiden name is Maddie Job, but I lovingly refer to her as Mrs. Abdullah, okay?
Do you have any brothers and sisters?
I do. Under me is my dear sister Seti, that's spelled S-I-T-I, Alia Salim. She is a Muslim, a different way of looking at Islam through Imam Warathuddin Muhammad. That's what she embraces. And then my other sister, her name is Debbie. She still lives here. After Debbie Pinkerton is my sister, my brother Stevie. He still resides here too. And then you want their ages too?
Oh, no, that'd be fine.
Okay, cool. Just their names.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Stevie, then my sister Susie, or Susanna. She resides in Georgia. Then the last sibling or baby in our family is Kimberly Pinkerton. She resides in Georgia also. Yeah.
So that makes you.
Oh, forgot my brother from another mother, literally. Michael Holloway, who is older than me. And I did not find out he was my brother until I was a teen. You know how black people keep them family secrets? Be sweeping that stuff up under the rug, brother. Yes, sir, brother.
So, that counts right. That makes you one of six? One of five?
Well, I'm the oldest in my nuclear family.
Okay.
Michael is older than me.
Okay.
We got the same Ab or dad, Fred, and he's got a different mom. My mom, Maddie, is my mom. He's not a part of our nuclear family, but he is in our extended family.
All right. So, and then could you tell us anything about your education background?
Oh, certainly, be pleased to. There was no homeschooling when I was brought up, but my Umi, and from this point, I'm not going to say Umi mother. That's a universal word in Islam for mother, okay? My Umi, Miss Abdullah, from an early age, brother, which is her job. I don't understand why a lot of females don't realize our brains work like computers. When you get a computer, what's the first thing you got to do? You got to format the hard drive. Look at the word. Formative years. Formatting. My formatting was like this. When I was 4 years old, I knew how to write my name in cursive before I went to kindergarten. I knew how to tie my shoes. I knew how to wash my ass properly and go to the bathroom properly before I even went to kindergarten. My mom's brother, she walked us through this. And then repeat that question again, because I want to get everything in chronological. Say it again.
Just your education background.
Oh, okay. Then I attended most of my school here. I remember all my teachers, man. If you want me to run through them, I will. And there was only two of them that I really couldn't stay in love with. Mr. Garcia and Miss Curry. Brother, they pissed me off, both of them, okay? They're the only two, but I love them for the lessons they taught me. But I went to grade school here at 9th Street, which is currently Elm School now.
Oh, okay.
And then subsequent to that, I went to Roosevelt, which is Roosevelt School of the Arts. Okay. Subsequent to that, I went to Rufus King High School. It wasn't no baccalaureate then. Okay. It was an emerging high school in that there were still some Caucasians that went there. They were Jewish because that was a Jewish enclave up there on Olive Street. And so I remember Freddie Birnbaum, his dad owned the store up the street. So he was the white boy. You know how the Caucasians, children, they get that flavor when they're around us, right? But the reason why we all respected, Eddie Birnbaum, because he didn't try to change his flavor. I'm a Jewish boy. My dad's observant. Y'all gonna either take me or leave me alone. So he was firm. Man, I love that boy, man. We all did, man. It wasn't no thing about trying to pick on him because he was a Caucasian. He was on a wrestling team, played football, everything. He was part of the neighborhood, man. Yeah, true. And then after that, I want y'all to understand something. I really don't like talking about this, but I will. I was a football star in high school. I was all-state quarterback in the state of Wisconsin. Second team, because you know they got to do other shit. But in city conference play, I had played amateur stuff in middle school. It was through this program called Athletes for Youth, where me and a friend of mine, Jerome, we were the most valuable players on offense and defense. We won a trip to the Super Bowl, 1970, to see Minnesota Vikings and the Kansas City Chiefs. Brother, we loved it. My first airplane ride and everything. My moms, my Umi, my grandmoms, they were so proud of me, man. They was crying, man. And just to throw this in there, my grandmother, she said, I saw you on TV, because we went to a banquet. The Milwaukee Bucks was there. We got our award and everything. And then she was sitting there crying. And then she said, now come down here. I done made all your favorites. Chicken, macaroni and cheese, cornbread and greens. Brother, I was rocking and rolling up in that piece, okay? And then after that, I was recruited to go to these big-time schools. I wanted to go to Cornell, but my Umi, she said, hell no. You ain't going that far away from home, and it's going to be a culture shock. Now, she didn't articulate it like that, but she was like, you ain't going out there to be with them white folks and be acting crazy. Nah, you going to stay close to where I did. So what happened was, schools from the Big 8, all this, they wanted me to come. Brother, I'm not bragging. When I was young, I could throw a football like this, 70 yards and hit a handkerchief. Word life, word bond. My shit was tight, man. I had skills, son. Okay? I don't talk about it. Me and Manir both, we talked about that. Because I'm not one of them older men who be like, I remember, when I was, nah, that was then. Then after that, this man, I didn't know who he was from Adam. He used to come to our football games, and I played basketball for King. And he pulled me aside one day. He said, I'm here to recruit you. I said, what? He was an older gentleman. He was an alumni of Alcorn. So I ended up going to Alcorn. It was a college then. Now it's a university. They changed their status. It was in what's called the SWAC, the Southwest Athletic Conference. Okay. Set my ass on the bench the whole year. But I was on the traveling team. I used to get on that plane. We chartered a plane. But I was in heaven, man. I thought I was in the pros and everything, man. But I just felt good about being on a team like that, man. Yeah. So, and then my real education came when I joined the Nation of Islam. In 1981, I went to a lecture by Minister Farrakhan in Philadelphia. It was entitled "The Time, ... and What Must Be Done." And I ain't looked back since. That was my life, my worldview for a long time. And then my informal education included where I am now. This when I met my first enlightener. His name is B. God Allah. He from New York, Queens. He was taught by what's called the firstborns, the founders of the nation of gods and earths, which some people refer to as the 5%. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's where I am now. That's my culture, man. I love Mr. Farrakhan, but I used to be the minister here, representing him, but it wasn't that I outgrew them or anything like that. Don't get me wrong. I realized, and I had to come to terms with this, that if you embrace this, because the messenger, Elijah Muhammad, taught us, you don't have to stay in the mosque. You don't have to be, this is a foundation for you to live your life. Now, you ask about education, right?
Yes.
He always taught us to go to the root of things. The word education is rooted in its etymological root from a Latin word, which is educare, which means to draw out from. Everything you got is already in you. It's up to the facilitator or teacher to pull it out. So my true education started after I left Alcorn. I'm not a college graduate. I left after my freshman year. You know why? I woke up as an 18-year-old after reading the article in Sports Illustrated. The end of the article said, it referenced some quote. It said, football is like a rose. It's nice, but it's not necessary. And that's when I realized, man, the hell with all this. And from the time I was 7, I wanted to be a football star, man. I really did. So I could buy my mama a house. You know that'd be the dream. And so I was like, nah, this ain't for me, man. This ain't for me. So go ahead, bro.
And finally, could you just give us your occupation?
Oh, I'm growing my own business. It's called Inception Consulting Group. I'm the group, brother. It's only one of us. Okay, I'm the group. But when you use words like that, it's like psycholinguistics. So it implies that it's people either working with you, under you, or for you. So, that's why I chose to do that. I wasn't being economical with the truth, because one day I do plan on adding an administrative assistant and other people to join me in workshops as facilitators and stuff like that. But my logo consists of a piece of sacred geometry called the Seed of Life, and it has yes, those interlocking circles.
It's like that, but then it's like another one.
Yeah, true indeed. You got it, Demir. You got it, man. Yeah, it's just like that. So one day when I get my cards are being printed up now, my goddaughter helped me design it and the whole shebang, man. So right now, my tenure with Reformation Lutheran Church ends on the 30th of June. And as I've indicated to Dave and some of the other community organizers, I'm just going on faith, man, because I was supposed to transition into 2 positions through Washington Park Partners, but those didn't pan out. See, and I'm growing my faith with respect to my business, and one door closes and a window opens wide up through Professor Sin. He hooked me up with some folks. They getting back to me. 2 clients, just like I want. So, brother, once I make my presentation, that one, I know they got some money. See, I got to tell you this. I don't chase money, man. It come and find you, because it's only energy. That's my approach toward business. I ain't about the money. It's people over money, okay? Yes.
Okay. Now we got that out the way. So, you said you were born in Wauwatosa.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
And through our conversations with Bobby, the director over at Washington Park Partners,
Right, right.
he was saying that Wauwatosa is something that he would like Washington Park to move towards, as far as having the members of the community come into meetings very, very continuously.
Right, right.
What would you say, very continuously, to get the information about ways that they can help their community? So how have you seen, since you've been here, the change from how it was when you were younger?
Oh, okay, okay. See, I didn't grow up over here.
Right.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm an innovator and a thinker. When I first came over here and they said this was Washington Park neighborhood, I changed everything. I started calling it Wisdom Park and Wisdom Hill. That's just me, because I was getting so much love over here, man. I've lived on the east side, River West, all that. Interacted with the youth over there. However, I've never gotten as much love from the whole neighborhood as I've got from living on the west side. Previous to moving over here and being homeless, I was homeless, man, for a minute, literally. Not technically, literally. I was on 24th and Vine. Got love on my block, brother. Lived next door to a drug dealer who was the nicest man in the world, but his nephews was some, brother, they practiced villainy every day, son. But Al, he was so cool. He had a pit bull named Trouble, and them two nephews, man, when Al went to jail, man, they let the dog die, man. They didn't even feed the dog, man. But anyway, when I moved over here through the graciousness and generosity of David Boucher and his spouse, Stephanie Shipley, I saved my money, got me some traction, and moved in and ain't looked back, man. So, but to get to the point and the gist of your question, these two communities are different in mindset because we deal with a myriad of issues that keep piling up as time goes on. It's rooted to me in post-traumatic slave syndrome. That's all I'm gonna say. It's rooted in that. Racism and all the isms that you could think of, it's rooted in those things. And one of the things that prevent us from attending parent-teacher conference, being involved in the community, all that stuff, it's not that we don't care. We busy trying to survive, man. These single moms, some of them got 2 jobs, plus they trying to go to school to better themselves. They really, literally do not have time to be involved in the community. Therein lies the reason for the creation of my company, the efforts of people like Baba Munir, Queen Mother Cox, Angela Pruitt, and one of my associates at the church over there, I call her Empress Cheryl. Okay? So it's all good, man. So, but not that they're different, because you know human beings are universal. They just got, when you go out to Wauwatosa, they got order out there. The foolishness that we put up with in our neighborhood, they wouldn't have it. You ain't gonna be doing no drugs on their block and they know about it. They gonna call the police, they gonna organize and stand in front of your house and dare you to come up out of there, especially if you don't harm one of their children. Go walk on any street in Wauwatosa. You're gonna see economic development thriving on North Avenue and the border thing in the village proper. And you're gonna see cut grass, because these are home owners. Now, they're home owners over here, but for the most part, you got people who are transient. They're renters. So they be like, especially if they're not vetted by the landlord, I ain't cutting no grass. That ain't my grass. I ain't shoveling no snow. That ain't my sidewalk. That's his. He need to come over here and do that. So that that whole mentality that goes with that makes us different from Wauwatosa. And to utilize that as an example. Okay?
What would you say would be the cause for their mind, for their way of thinking?
Their orientation from birth, their parents shot them out the box, man, to realize the American dream. And see, we can't really be honest about racism and white supremacy in this society. Because think about it, and this ain't for here, we could talk about everything but race in this country with sanity. We could talk about anything rationally with the exception of race. And I'm not trying to play no race card or nothing, but it boils down to white supremacy, racism, combined with a lot of other isms and stuff. Their parents, let me just do this. It's a book by one of my favorite scholars and authors. His name is Khalil Gibran. I'm paraphrasing now. He's asked the question, speak to us of children. He says, he uses an analogy. The parent is the archer. The foundation or the formative year structure is the bow. The arrow is the child. The child don't belong to the parents. It's God's creation. They are shooting them out into the world with having a foundation. That's what the people do in Wauwatosa. They see the American dream, whereas we see the American nightmare. Take your time. Take your time, bro.
So, in this community, a lot with the American dream comes from the idea of you being able to work hard to get where you want to go. But what would you say is the issue, or what could be the perceived issue with the jobs that are or are not present in this community?
Oh, it's by design, man. When you look at as a worldview that we're now, the European Union is an example of what's taking place. They want to turn this whole planet into regionalism. I'm talking about the elite, or what Dr. Cornel West calls the plutocrats, people who control the banks, the UN, the Fed, all that. Like right now, the TPP is being debated in Congress. There are, I think, 902 provisions up that's supposed to be about trade, but guess how many are about trade? 5. Just 5 out of 902. This is all about corporations. Then throw in the prison industrial complex. Then throw in that in our culture we utilize the acronym for jobs, just over broke. That's what job means. Brother, this is a planned economy, okay? There ain't no accident. The stock market ain't nothing but like a damn casino. If you watch the first movie, Wall Street, and the second one, you'll see. That's why the Gordon Gekko character wanted inside information, because he knows it's rigged for the house, these big bankers. And so my thing with these job things, there's a lot of training out there, but you see, they're always fond in the newspaper and the media of quoting these statistics. They're never accurate. The brothers, and I'm talking about men, not to exclude women, the brothers in Imani neighborhood, Metcalf Park, and Washington Park, which I like to call Wisdom Park and Wisdom Hill, they've given up on this, man, for a couple of reasons. One, They seen some of their uncles, cousins, brothers, fathers work in corporate America. For what? For what? To be drove crazy on your job? Come home with a schizophrenic existence, acting one way at work, and then can't wait to get home, then taking it out on the woman in your life and the children with domestic violence. That's just one of them. That's why they get out of school and be like, this ain't for me. The underground economy. Because this is something I know. I know how to deal weed, cane, and if the Caucasian children want it, I get them some methamphetamine. I go out to Walking Show and buy me some, bring it back up in here and sell it to them. Because I'm comfortable and familiar with that. You can't get mad at them, Bill. You can't. They doing the best they can. But that job situation, this is my thing. We're beyond actually, because wait, let me back up, because I want to be real clear. When NAFTA came in, that was just like the TPP. Did you see the gradual shift of all the factories closing down here in America and everything being moved to China? You don't think that was a plan? Dude, everything is made in China. Malaysia, the this, the that, Ecuador, everything except here. We have a service economy now, which that's why people are rebelling at these places like McDonald's and other places. They want to be unionized because they realize, and plus they don't have a skill set for the 21st century. They can't get nothing else. They can't get, so they stuck with this $7, $8 an hour. Now they want a living wage, and these folks getting mad, but they making a gazillion dollars off of them. Right. But there was a time at McDonald's, you get the uniform for free, you get a free meal. You think you get any of that now? You got to pay for everything. So they frustrated, man. So my axiom is do something for self or die in the time that we live in. I mean that. I say what I mean what I say. I ain't gonna get up off of it. Islam is mathematics. Mathematics is Islam. That could be proven in no limit of time. I don't have to prove that. It's in front of them. They see that going to work in corporate America and these little entry-level jobs, these temp agencies and stuff, it don't be working, man. It don't be work. Do something for self or die. Create some economic development right here. That's what we trying to do in Washington Park. Employ our young people so the money can circulate down here, man. And everybody can benefit from it. So, said all that, you know.
So, through there, you touched on media, and through other conversations we've had, it seems like media and more broad term of communication with the younger people in this area seems to be the hardest thing as far as not being able to reach them, and they're not really being in these places. So for this community, how would you see ways of communicating with just more community members?
Okay, several things, and these are only ideas and concepts. In this neighborhood, we're surrounded by 2 youth organizations, Express Yourself Milwaukee, which is dedicated to art therapy, healing, and a holistic approach to some of the challenges young people face. Our next generation is right down the street. So this is y'all time. When I say y'all, your generation and younger, y'all into social media. I noticed this phenomenon by taking public transportation. As soon as they get on the bus with the earphones on, it could be plenty seats, but they don't want to go sit next to nobody. They want to stay isolated. That's by design, man. You an individual, stay in your own world. We give you a device, a handheld one, a phone, a tablet, whatever. Listen to your music, do your homework, read your Kindle. You don't have to worry about nobody. That's why it's so easy to rob them over here. They got their hoodie on and the earphone. The stick-up kids just walk up to them. Give me your, So, but to engage seniors, working people, young people, and children, it's going to take some on the ground people who are willing to go and knock on doors and say, not take surveys, just to engage them in conversation, man. What are your needs? What's your life like? See, let me give you an example. I don't know, do either one of y'all go out to clubs and stuff like that?
I do from time to time.
Okay, when you meet a woman or a young lady, and then maybe one of the first questions out of her mouth is, what do you do? The real question is, who are you? See, look at that. It's a script running in her head. She's equating you with your job, like that. You're seeking. What is that word? It'll come to me. But validation through what you do. Is you rocking 20s on your rims and all? I don't know the dimensions, but you got to Escalade but see, all the person with all that could be a rapist, a wife beater, and all this stuff. You just looking at this outside shell when there's a good man or good woman across the street that may not be flossing like that. But you ain't giving them no time because you looking at how the media drives these perceptions. And perception is just that. It's not reality, brother. So, I said all that to say the connecting points are going to be provide, an example. We have to provide, in this day and time, tangible reality, meaning you have to give people something to see, touch, taste, smell before they get it. So this neighborhood is in the midst of a renaissance. It's coming up, man. It's going to be a destination neighborhood one day for good schools, green space, arts and culture, which, by the way, arts and culture is going to drive the changes in this neighborhood, along with the architecture. Because any new development that come in, they're going to have to blend in with the flavor. You know what I'm saying? Don't be trying to do this from top down. Let's do it from the bottom up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Those are just my ideas, and they're not definitive, because I'm always becoming. So ideas are always becoming and evolving organically.
So, a couple of times we've talked about the youth here in this community and their roles. Do you feel that the criminal element here in the community is more gauged towards the youth, as in they're the ones who are either being actively targeted by criminals, or they're the ones who are being targeted by the authorities for criminal activities, whether or not they are or not doing it? Or what do you feel the relationship with the police is?
Oh, it's tenuous at best. See, the examples are up on the East Coast right now, in New York in particular, and all those places on the East Coast, that stereotypical us and them kind of thing, this cowboy mentality with police officers patrolling our neighborhood, because no longer, it never been protect and serve. It's just keep everything on the reservation calm. That's how I've always viewed police, with one exception, Officer Ted. Long story, take 3 hours to tell you about Officer Ted. We all loved him, but maybe one day I'll just share that with y'all. My respect for a real police officer, okay? A Caucasian man. We all loved him, brother, and I'll tell you the reasons when we chop it up. But the antagonistic relationship that exists is not by the average brother or sister on the street. It's the mentality when they come out of the academy. They're asked the question, especially people of color, are you black or are you blue? Okay? Are you black or are you blue? But it's a fraternal order of police. So they back each other up, even in lying and just doing all kind of villainy, man. I'm not. I used to be empathetic towards police officers, no longer, because I'm angry. They're order takers, man. What person would give over their sovereignty to a person that says, I hear and obey? That's what they did at Nuremberg when they asked the SS, why'd you kill all these people? We were just following orders. You don't have a conscience? You don't have a free will? You can't assess a situation and say, oh, he just a little crazy. He off his medication. But you go in, jump on the hood like dude did out somewhere, firing 49 shots at 2 people in the front seat. Come on, man. Come on, man. And do you think it's an accident that you seeing all this violence toward not only men and women of color? See, it's a hidden statistic that's never talked about with the relationship with police. At least 1,000 people every year are killed by police officers. They go underreported. And this society is one that practices social engineering. So that's why I don't watch television. I don't read the Milwaukee Journal. I get my news from selective sources, which I still question too. I just like to get them because they're not formatted in that way. But what we're programmed to be experiencing is the following, in my opinion. Go look this up. It's a military term or phrase. It's called summary execution. Okay? That's what and it's already here. I talked to a brother the other day. He said, Ahmad, I heard people talk like that. They watch a news program, see the brother get killed by the police officer. The first thing out the female mouth, he said, he probably had it coming. Now, who thinks like that? You looking at this boy ain't doing nothing, and you gonna judge him? That's programming, man. It's a script running. You don't know you being programmed to be looking at this, like Gil Scott used to call television, tell, lie, vision. Brother, that's what it is, just telling lies. So everything you look at on TV and in the movies, that's why they call it an industry. Brother, just like in the Third Reich, the Goebbels and his crew, they was in this propaganda stuff in a big way. It's a science behind manipulating people's subconscious. Our people are not symbol literate. They're unaware. Do this as an experiment, both of y'all. If y'all got nieces or nephews or exposed to young people, watch them the next time they're watching cartoons on television. You know what that is? It's an alpha state. They sleep. They don't hear you. They can't see you. You ever notice why when they mama calling them, they're not ignoring them. They literally can't hear them because they're being programmed. Why you think they call them programs? So this police state, and we're in it now. It's not coming because there's a book out, and I suggest y'all read it. It's called The Rise of the Warrior Cop. Read that book, man. Read that book, The Rise of the Warrior Cop. Under the guise of Homeland Security, they're militarizing these police forces. Why do you think they went from wearing blue uniforms to black ones? To intimidate you more. Why does it take 20 police officers to go serve a felony warrant in somebody's house? Because they all cowards. All of them. Brother, they all cowards. Because it used to only take 2 police officers. One stayed in the car for backup. Go pop the felony warrant and keep it moving. Now they come in with the whole shebang. Because they know behind that door, that brother might have that AKA and light them up, okay? I ain't trying to promote nothing. I'm just saying. Okay?
Okay, and then so how how do you see this area, this community growing in the future?
I'm so glad you asked me that. Brother, through real collaboration, which means being in real partnership with all the agencies, no matter what their constituency is. Let's not try to reinvent the wheel. Let's not try to fight over funding. Let's not try to, I'm going to stick to my mission and vision because this is the right way. No, brother. Real collaboration involves compromise, showing, improving, meeting, demonstrating that you have something tangible to offer the community. Let them decide where they're going to pick from, and then develop economic development, true educational institutions, and improving safety and the quality of the housing that exists over here so we can have a true neighborhood, and not necessarily in that order, because it's the people that's going to drive that, what order it comes in, you know?
And so you already told us about your let's say religious awakening.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you can call it that. Go ahead,
I
brother.
don't
Feel,
wanna call it
no,
something
no,
that's
don't feel like you going for me because I know what spirit you coming in to me.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, bro.
Would you say that in this area, religion is a strong thing? 'Cause I know right down 40th, there's that, I think it's an old church on that corner. It's at like top. And then, so would you say that's something that pushes this community forward also? The
Yeah.
religious
See,
beliefs?
strong pastors and leaders of religious organizations or spiritual, whatever you want to call it, man, they've got to understand that this moral relativism has got to stop. We've got to start telling the truth to our people. I ain't talking about the truth that's in the Bible. That's subjective, man. That's between you and the divine, however you approach the divine. Just my thing is just be a good example of that which you say you represent, okay? Now, that is a crucial part. Historically, for black people that reside in Washington Park, brother, that was our only hope and base at one time in our history. The church. Among the Laotian people, they are highly spiritual. We just are not educated how they approach the divine. Hispanic people have a myriad of ways. The Catholic Church, the apostolic approach now, that's a new phenomenon amongst them. Santeria, this culture right here, voodoo, all that. People from Cuba, Dominican Republic, Haiti, all those people come here with different my Muslim brothers and sisters on my block, they look at Islam different than I ever would. They're more, and I don't want to say orthodox or traditional, they just got not a rigid set of rules, but rules that they live by. And I could appreciate that. So I believe it is essential to have a spiritual awakening in order to drive all the tangible things. It has to be undergirded, because the way my worldview works is for every physical thing, there is a spiritual counterpart in the universe. They run parallel, not perpendicular. They run parallel to each other. I know that's a little bit metaphysical, but go do some homework. Give you something to do, okay?
Do you see the continued development of these leaders creating a more welcoming environment?
Ooh, that is an excellent question. Y'all done experienced the Amaranth Bakery, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could turn this and turn that question over to y'all. But this is a place, brother, that is so welcoming. It is so filled with love. And there are many places like this. I was telling you before, I get so much love on the street. But just from walking up and down 35th Street, man, they know me as the brother that always says peace. They don't know my name. I got them all doing like this when they see me go, peace, peace. So it's welcoming in the sense of this. It's a concept that I've noticed, or it's not a phenomenon. I think it's organic. I think all the people over in this neighborhood know, they don't believe they know. We're all in this together. Now, how can we just make a valiant attempt to get along? By being more welcoming and open. And if you accept Hmong and Laotian people for who and what they are and don't be judging them with stereotypical stuff, profiling and stuff, you'd be surprised. Like the sister that works here, her name is Tao. I got Tao teaching me Hmong. Brother, I didn't want to do microaggressions and offend nobody, so I would always say, are you Hmong or Laotian? They would say, which one? I learned how to say hi in Laotian, which is Sabaidi. And then in Hmong, it's Nojong, just working with it, man. And so I just made friends with the humanities professor, Nan Kim. You don't think I'm going to ask her how to say peace, thank you, and bye, and hi in Korean? Mother, watch me. When I see her, she going to be like, oh, look at my brother trying to learn my culture. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how we become more welcoming, is to respect the humanity, not the culture, the humanity in others that we encounter. Because this is an eclectic neighborhood, as you can see just by walking around.
I know a lot of places in Milwaukee are very segregated, and as I've been walking through all the streets here with Hiram, and he's been showing me all these different places, and we've been talking to people on the street, and they were telling us how it was once all whites, and then it flipped to all blacks, and then it flipped again and it flipped again. It kept changing like that, basically just washing people in and out. How do you see diversity playing a role in this area's rebirth?
Okay. See, one thing is diversity can't be planned. You can't plan. Some people think you can. It's organic, man. See, let me just use a frame of reference for a moment to give people, some who are listening to this, a frame of reference. In the Holy Quran, God speaking, I've made you into tribes that you may know each other. Stop. That you may know. That's on you to do. See me? I'm trying to get to know your humanity by finding out something about your culture. See, if it was bodegas over here in this neighborhood, brother, don't try to make them people in the store learn English. Don't tell them to go back where they are. You learn how to say something in Spanish so you can make them feel welcome and respect their humanity. So, like I said, diversity can't be planned. It's organic. And it's only going to be organic when the level of respect comes up. Respect, again, is a Latin word, meaning again or to revisit. Spect means to look. Look again at the person that's in front of you, man. Respect them. Do unto others as you have them do unto you. That's an organic process. It's going to be slow. You got to be tolerant, flexible, but I admire people who are true to their culture. I know Hispanic families that, okay, you go to school at MPS, y'all speak English, you bilingual. But when you come up in here, we speak in Spanish. Ain't nothing wrong with that. See, that's why people get mad. Why you not reinforcing the English at home? Because I'm the old granny, and I know they need to have more than one way of looking at the world, because they live in a crazy world. They need to be rooted in something. How come we can't respect that, man? We want everybody to speak English. You out your mind, man. You better come on and learn some other stuff about other people. Going back to my thesis statement about the God talking in the Quran, I've created you in tribes, meaning on purpose, so that you, singular, can know each other. That's a process, man. How long it's gonna be? Your guess good as mine. Good as mine. I don't know, bro. I don't know. But I trust it'll come in my lifetime so I can see it. Not because it ain't gonna be perfect now. It ain't gonna be pretty. Okay? But we got to respect each other. We really do. Okay?
So for you, respect is a big thing in
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
development.
Right. In the actual sense of the word, to be precise. That's why I gave you the etymological root of the word. To look again. It ain't about you dissing me, you stepped on my shoes. I ain't talking about that kind of respect. Or you all up in my face. I'm talking about looking again at a person so you can see their humanity, man.
And so another thing for as far as economics and jobs goes, would you say that there's been almost a lack of community owned businesses? What I mean by that is people who live in this community owning the businesses that are in this community.
See, that's what we want to do. Baba Munir has these brilliant ideas. And let me just stop and say this. David Boucher, Stephanie Shipley, Baba Munir, and others have been holding this neighborhood down, brother, by trying to develop these ideas. For instance, in the vacant lot across the street, planned for next year, is a field full of cut flowers that they're going to establish and turn over to young people. A recycling business with cotton or linen clothing. A hops business. Grow hops and ginseng. Hops for the microbreweries that are all in Milwaukee. Run by young people. See, tangible realities. If other dope dealing brothers in GD and vice lords see that, they got a choice now. An analogy. If you on the desert and ain't no oasis around, and somebody come up to you with a glass full of sewer water and say, damn, you dying of thirst? It's the only liquid I got. You gonna drink it, brother. You gonna drink it full of urine and everything. You gonna drink it. But if they offer you a choice, here the clean glass, here the dirty glass, which one you think they gonna take? Give them a choice. They don't have no choices for the economic development right now. That's why they do the villainy. That's why they shiesty and grimy. That's the only outlet you done gave them. I can sell drugs. I can get the women, get my rims and rock my car and the clothes and stuff. It's my only outlet. I'm gonna live fast. I don't plan on living past 30. Part of doing business is I may go to prison to feed the prison industrial. It ain't that they don't care. They're not given no choices and the opportunities. So we don't have a cadre of people that are willing to work with young people to develop them into entrepreneurs. That's what we're trying to do, man. That's what our desire is. We want to do that.
She's really excited.
Oh,
She's so
good,
excited.
good, good.
You got good people out here.
Yeah, and if, I'm gonna need your help.
Yeah.
If you think or know I'm not understanding.
Those are all the questions I have for you.
Well, brother,
Do you have anything you'd like to add, or anything you feel I didn't touch on that needs to be?
oh
added?
no, I think your questions were both poignant. They elicited responses from me that sometimes are painful to talk about, man. I'm serious. Because like you guys, you brothers see me now, y'all should follow me 23 hours, 56 minutes, and 46 seconds a day. I cry a lot, man. I ain't scared as a black man to share my vulnerability. See, I've built a network of black men in my circle, or what we like to call our cipher, where we talk about our vulnerability and who we are in this society so we can strengthen each other, you know? So, with that being said, I just want to thank both of y'all. I really do, man. No, it's my honor, my privilege to answer your questions. Okay?
Thank you.
All right.